What if I told you that 7 things sitting in your home right now are the exact reason you'll still be broke 5 years from today? Not your income, not your job. These 7 purchases. Here's what's crazy. In 2026, the game has completely changed. Things that seemed normal in 2020 are now silent wealth killers, and most people have no idea they're bleeding money every single day. Is your neighbor making $80,000 a year? Still broke. Why? Because of these 7 traps. Today, I'm exposing the 7 things you need to stop buying immediately if you actually want to build wealth. And listen, number 7 is costing the average American $4,380 every year without them even realizing it. That's a free vacation, a down payment, or an emergency fund disappearing into thin air. If you're tired of wondering where your money goes every month, smash that subscribe button right now and ring that notification bell. Drop "Stop the Drain" in the comments if you're ready to keep what you earn, finally. Let's start with number 1. And fair warning, this one's going to make some people defensive. Number 1. Brand new cars, especially financed. Number 1 on the list, and this one's gonna hurt some egos. Stop buying brand new cars, especially if you're financing them. Look, I know how tempting it is, that new car smell, that showroom shine, the salesperson telling you everyone's doing it and you deserve this. But here's what they're not telling you. The moment you drive that $45,000 SUV off the lot, you just lit $10,000 to $15,000 on fire. Gone. Evaporated, like it never existed. And it gets worse. You're not even paying cash for this privilege. You're signing up for a $700 monthly payment for 7 years. Let me say that again, 7 years. That's 84 months of your life chained to a depreciating hunk of metal that loses value faster than ice cream melts in July. Here's the math that car dealerships pray you never do. A $45,000 car financed at 6% interest for 84 months, you're paying $58,800 total. For a car that'll be worth maybe $20,000 when you finally own it. You essentially paid $38,800 for the privilege of looking successful while becoming broke. Now let me take you back to ancient Babylon. Yeah, we're going old school. The Babylonians had a principle. Never buy a depreciating asset with borrowed money. They figured this out 4,000 years ago. We have smartphones and Wi-Fi, and we still haven't learned it. There's even a Jewish proverb that says, "The borrower is slave to the lender." And nothing proves that faster than a 7-year car loan. You know who understands this? Warren Buffett, worth over $100 billion. You know what he drives? Until recently, it was a 2014 Cadillac he bought used. Not because he couldn't afford better, because he's not trying to impress people at red lights. He's too busy compounding wealth while everyone else is compounding debt. Here's what you should do instead. Buy a 3 to 5-year-old certified pre-owned vehicle. Still reliable, still looks good, but someone else already ate that massive depreciation hit. A $45,000 new car becomes a $28,000 used car in 3 years. Same car, same features, $17,000 cheaper. Better yet, pay cash or put down a massive down payment. If you can't afford to buy it without stretching, you can't afford the car. Period. Now here's where the magic happens. Let's say you buy that $28,000 car with a reasonable loan of $450 a month instead of $700. Take that $250 difference and invest it every single month. In 7 years, while your neighbor is making their last payment on a car now worth $18,000, you own your car outright and you've got $21,000 invested that's growing. Same time period, completely different financial futures. Let me tell you a quick story. I knew a guy who worked in construction. Everyone on his crew drove $60,000 trucks, lifted, custom rims, the whole show. He drove a beat-up 2008 Toyota Tacoma, which he bought for $12,000 cash. They called him cheap. Laughed at him every day. 10 years later, he bought his first rental property, then his second, then his third. You know what his coworkers bought? New trucks. Again. Still making payments. Still broke, still laughing at him. But now it's nervous laughter because they're starting to realize he knows something they don't. Here's the wealth principle that changed everything for me. Your car is transportation, not identity. It gets you from point A to point B. That's it. The moment you start thinking your car defines your worth, you've already lost the wealth game. The truly wealthy don't need their car to announce their success. Their bank account does it silently. But that's just the obvious part. Number 2 is even sneakier because it feels responsible, like you're treating yourself to something you've earned. But what I'm about to show you is how 7 streaming services are quietly stealing your financial future 1 month at a time. Number 2, premium cable streaming bundles you don't use. Number 2, and this one hits close to home for most of us. Stop paying for streaming services you forgot you even have. Let me ask you something. Right now, without looking at your bank statement, can you name every subscription that's automatically charging your card this month? Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, Peacock, Paramount+, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Spotify, YouTube Premium. The list goes on. And here's the kicker. You're probably paying for at least 3 you haven't opened in 2 months. The average American is hemorrhaging $219 per month on entertainment subscriptions. That's $2,628 a year. And here's what makes it brilliant from a business perspective. You're not buying entertainment anymore. You're renting the illusion of choice. You've got 47,000 shows available across 7 platforms, and you still spend 20 minutes scrolling before giving up and rewatching The Office for the 9th time. Let me share something Marcus Aurelius wrote 2,000 years ago. Yeah, the Roman emperor had this figured out long before Netflix existed. He said, "You become what you give your attention to." Think about that. You're literally paying hundreds of dollars a month to give your attention to corporations instead of your own life, your own growth, your own wealth building. There's a recent study that found Americans are spending $237 per month on subscriptions they've completely forgotten about. Gym memberships they never use. Magazine subscriptions are still coming. Software trials that turned into charges. That $9.99 here and $14.99 there adds up to thousands of dollars vanishing into the void while you're wondering why you can't save money. Here's your wake-up call. Right now. And I mean literally pause this video if you need to. Cancel everything. Every single subscription, Netflix, Hulu, cable, all of it, gone. Then for the next 30 days, track what you actually miss. What do you find yourself wanting to watch that you can't? That's the only thing you resubscribe to. Everything else was just background noise you were paying for out of habit. Watch what happens. You'll probably realize you were paying for 7 services but only using 2. And even better, you'll discover you have time now. The time you were spending mindlessly binging shows you don't even remember. Time you can now use to learn something, build something, or actually connect with real humans instead of fictional characters. Let me tell you a story that puts this in perspective. A woman was drowning in debt, working 2 jobs, and couldn't figure out where her money was going. She did this exercise, canceled every subscription. You know what she discovered? She was paying $340 a month for entertainment she wasn't even enjoying. She was too busy working to watch it. She canceled everything, and for the first time in years, she sat in silence. It was uncomfortable at first, but then she picked up a book. Then another, then another. By the end of that year, she'd read 52 books, learned a new skill, gotten a promotion, and paid off $8,000 in debt. All because she stopped paying companies to distract her from her own potential. Here's the brutal truth. The Bible says, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." You're spending $2,600 a year on streaming services. That's your treasure. That's where your heart is. Not in investments, not in your future, in watching other people's stories instead of writing your own. Your actionable step is simple but not easy. Cut it down to 1, maybe 2 services you genuinely use every week. Rotate them seasonally if you want variety. Want to binge Stranger Things? Subscribe to Netflix for 1 month, watch it, cancel. 3 months later, subscribe to HBO for House of the Dragon, then cancel. You just went from $209 a month to $30 a month. That's $2,268 back in your pocket every year. Here's the wealth principle. You're not buying entertainment. You're buying distraction from building the life you actually want. And companies know this. They're counting on you staying distracted, staying comfortable, staying broke. Wait, there's something you need to pay attention to if you don't want to lose everything. Because number 3 costs Americans $1,497 per year on average, and it's sitting in your closet right now with the tags still on. Number 3, fast fashion and trendy clothes. Number 3 is hiding in your closet right now. Stop buying cheap, trendy clothes that fall apart faster than your New Year's resolutions. Here's a scene I see everywhere. You walk into H&M, Zara, or Forever 21. Everything's $15, $20, $35. You think, what a deal. So you grab 5 shirts, 3 pairs of jeans, and a jacket. You spend $200, walk out feeling like you scored big. 6 months later, the seams are splitting, the colors are faded, and everything's stretched out of shape. So what do? You go back and buy more cheap clothes. It's a hamster wheel of waste. The average American spends $1,497 per year on clothing. And here's the crazy part. Studies show we only wear 20% of what's in our closet. That means 80% of your wardrobe is just dead money hanging on hangers, taking up space, making you feel guilty every time you open the door and say, I have nothing to wear. Let me take you to ancient China for a second. There's an old saying, buy quality once or buy garbage repeatedly. Wealthy Chinese families would invest in beautifully made garments that lasted decades, sometimes generations. A quality coat would be passed down from father to son, not because they couldn't afford new clothes, but because quality meant value. Fast fashion didn't exist because nobody was dumb enough to buy clothes designed to disintegrate. But we are. We buy $25 jeans that rip after 10 wears. We buy $12 shirts that shrink the first time you wash them. We chase trends that'll be outdated in 3 months, then wonder why our bank accounts look like our flimsy wardrobe, full of holes. Here's what kills me. You'll spend $40 on a cheap shirt you'll wear 5 times. That's $8 per wear, but you won't spend $150 on a quality shirt you'll wear 100 times over 5 years. That's $1.50 per wear. The expensive shirt is actually cheaper when you do the math, but we don't think like that. We think in price tags, not value. Here's your reality check. Before you buy anything, and I mean anything, ask yourself one question. Will I wear this at least 30 times? If the answer's not an immediate yes, put it back. That one filter will save you thousands of dollars and transform your closet from chaos to clarity. And check the quality. Feel the fabric. Is it thick or flimsy? Look at the stitching. Is it tight or already coming loose? Check the seams. Are they reinforced or barely holding? A $100 pair of quality jeans with proper construction will outlast 5 pairs of $40 jeans that fall apart. Do the math. $100 versus $200 for the same time period. Quality wins every time. Let me tell you a story that changed how I see clothes. My grandfather had a leather jacket he bought in 1975 for what was then a lot of money, about $300. Everyone thought he was crazy spending that much on a jacket. 40 years later, that jacket still looked incredible. Barely worn, still stylish, still functional. Meanwhile, I'd gone through probably 15 jackets in my life, buying cheap ones that lasted 2 years max. When I finally did the math, I'd spent over $1,000 on disposable jackets while his one quality purchase lasted 4 decades. He invested. I rented and threw away. Here's the wealth principle that'll change your closet and your bank account. Stop buying for who you want to impress. Buy for who you want to become. If you want to become wealthy, dress like wealthy people actually dress. Simple, classic quality. Not flashy, not trendy, not desperate for attention. Timeless pieces that last years, not months. Build a capsule wardrobe. 10 to 15 pieces you genuinely love that all work together, that'll last 5 years minimum. Jeans that fit perfectly. A quality leather belt. Classic white shirts. A well-made jacket. Suddenly, you have more outfits with less stuff, and your wallet isn't bleeding every month chasing trends that make you look broke while trying to look rich. But that's just the surface. What's behind it is what will startle people. Because number 4 is a straight-up scam that's been running in plain sight for decades, and stores are counting on you not doing the math on this one. Number 4, extended warranties and insurance you'll never use. Number 4 is a scam so obvious, I can't believe we still fall for it. Stop buying extended warranties and unnecessary insurance on things you can afford to replace. Picture this. You're at Best Buy buying a $600 TV. You're about to check out, and the cashier hits you with the magic question. Would you like the extended warranty? It's only $149 for 3 years of protection. And here's what happens in your brain. Fear. What if it breaks? What if I need it? So you fork over $149 to protect a $600 TV that statistically has a 5% chance of breaking in those 3 years. Let me do the math for you. You just paid 25% of the TV's value for peace of mind you'll probably never use. And Best Buy? They're laughing all the way to the bank because Consumer Reports found that only 15 to 20% of extended warranties are ever actually used. That means 80% of people paid for absolutely nothing. It's brilliant business for them. And it's not just TVs, it's your phone, your laptop, your appliances, your car. Everything comes with someone trying to sell you protection against things that rarely happen. Phone insurance costs $15 a month with a $200 deductible. That's $180 a year, plus $200 when you file a claim. For $380, you could just buy a used replacement phone and skip the middleman. Here's what Benjamin Franklin, the guy who literally invented the lightning rod and understood risk better than most, said, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." But he wasn't talking about buying insurance on every possible problem. He meant preventing the problem in the first place. Take care of your stuff. Don't drop your phone. Use a case. Suddenly, you don't need $15 monthly insurance. The insurance companies aren't stupid. They've done the math. They know exactly how often things break, how often claims get filed, and how much profit margin they need. Every warranty they sell is designed to make them money, not save you money. They wouldn't offer it if the odds were in your favor. Here's your new rule. Only insure catastrophic losses you can't afford out of pocket. House burns down? Insurance. Total your car? Insurance. $500 TV breaks? Self-insure. What does that mean? Take the $149 you're going to waste on the warranty and put it in a separate savings account labeled Tech Emergency Fund. Over 10 years of not buying warranties, you'll have $1,500 plus sitting there. When something actually breaks, which it rarely does, you pay cash from your own fund and keep the rest. Let me tell you about my buddy Dave. For 30 years, every salesperson tried selling him extended warranties. Every single time, he declined. His friends thought he was crazy. What if something breaks, they'd ask. His answer? Then I'll buy a new one. In those 30 years, he had exactly 3 things break outside the manufacturer's warranty. Total cost to replace, $800. Know how much he saved by declining warranties over 3 decades? Over $12,000. He literally came out $11,200 ahead by self-insuring. Here's a quick story that captures this perfectly. There was a couple who bought every warranty offered: appliances, electronics, even furniture protection plans. They paid thousands over the years for peace of mind. When their dishwasher finally broke after the manufacturer's warranty expired, they filed a claim on their extended warranty. The company sent a technician who declared it not covered due to a fine print clause. They paid out of pocket anyway. That's when they realized they'd been buying insurance against stress, but getting stress anyway. Here's the wealth principle. Insurance companies aren't charities running on hope and goodwill. Their business is built on math, and the math says you lose. They profit when you're afraid. Don't pay for fear. Pay for actual risk you can't afford. Don't jump to conclusions, because what comes next can change your perspective completely. Number 5 is draining over $2,000 from your wallet every single year. And you're doing it because it's easier. But that convenience is stealing your financial freedom one lunch at a time. Number 5, convenience foods and daily restaurant meals. Number 5 is the silent killer most people don't even notice. Stop eating out every single day like your kitchen is a museum. Let me paint you a picture of the average American's food spending. Morning, $7 Starbucks latte and a $5 breakfast sandwich. Lunch, $15 Chipotle bowl or Panera salad. Dinner 3 nights a week, $40 DoorDash order because it's been a long day. You're not even thinking about it. It's just Tuesday. But let me show you the math that'll make your stomach turn. That $12 morning routine? 5 days a week is $60. That's $240 a month just to wake up. The $15 lunch? Another $300 a month. Those 3 weekly takeout dinners at $40 each, that's $480 a month. Add it up, you just spent over $1,000 on food. $1,000 for one person. And you still have groceries you're not eating, rotting in your fridge. Americans now spend 44% of their food budget on restaurants and takeout. Think about that. Almost half of every food dollar goes to paying someone else to cook for you, plus their profit margin, plus the delivery driver, plus the app's cut. You're not buying food. You're buying convenience. And convenience is expensive. Here's what drives me crazy. The same person who says, I can't afford to save money, just spent $15 on lunch when they could have made the same meal at home for $3. That's $12 a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. That's $3,120 you're literally eating away. That's a vacation. That's an emergency fund. That's a down payment on changing your life. But instead, it's a burrito bowl you forgot about 3 hours later. Let me take you to Jewish tradition for a second. For thousands of years, Jewish families centered their wealth building around the home-cooked meal. It wasn't just about saving money. It was about intention, family, and not outsourcing your life to strangers. The Sabbath dinner wasn't catered. It was prepared with care. And those families passed down wealth for generations while building connections. Meanwhile, we can't even spend 20 minutes making lunch without feeling like we're being punished. Here's your wake-up call. For 1 week, just 7 days, track every single dollar you spend on food. Coffee, snacks, lunches, dinners, everything. Write it down. At the end of the week, add it up. I guarantee you'll be shocked. Most people think they spend $300 a month eating out. The reality? It's closer to $800. Now here's what you do. Week 2. Meal prep. Sunday afternoon, spend 90 minutes cooking 5 lunches for the week. Chicken, rice, vegetables. It's not glamorous, but it's $15 total instead of $75. Get a quality coffee maker and make coffee at home. That $7 daily latte becomes a 50-cent cup that tastes just as good once you stop paying for the Instagram-worthy logo. Cook dinner at home 4 nights a week. Suddenly, your $800 monthly food bill drops to $300. That's $500 back in your pocket every single month. Let me tell you a story that still gives me chills. A single mom was working 2 jobs, drowning in debt, and couldn't figure out how to get ahead. Someone showed her this math. She started meal prepping every Sunday. She made coffee at home. She cooked simple dinners. In 3 years, she paid off $30,000 in debt. Same income. Same expenses everywhere else. The only thing she changed was stopping the daily bleed of eating out. Food became fuel instead of a financial drain, and it literally changed her family's trajectory. Here's a quick reflection. Every $15 lunch is a choice. You're choosing convenience today over freedom tomorrow. You're choosing to pay someone else's rent instead of building your own wealth. You're choosing the path of least resistance, and that path leads straight to broke. Here's the wealth principle. Every dollar you spend eating out is a vote for staying exactly where you are. Cook at home, and you're voting for a different future. It's not about deprivation, it's about deciding what actually matters. Wait, the most important part is in the following story. Because number 6 is what keeps middle-class Americans trapped in golden handcuffs forever, and it's the biggest purchase most people ever make without understanding the real cost. Number 6, houses you can't actually afford. Number 6 is the American dream turned into a financial nightmare. Stop buying the biggest house the bank will approve you for. Here's how the scam works. You walk into a bank making $80,000 a year. They run the numbers and smile. Congratulations, you're approved for a $450,000 mortgage. You feel rich, you feel successful, you feel like you've made it. Then your real estate agent, who gets paid more when you spend more, says, "Let me show you what you can afford." And suddenly you're looking at houses at the absolute top of your budget, so you buy it. The $450,000 house with the $2,800 monthly payment, plus taxes, plus insurance, plus HOA fees, plus maintenance. You're suddenly spending $3,500 a month, nearly 50% of your take-home pay, just to keep a roof over your head. And now you're what wealthy people call house poor. Beautiful house, empty bank account, no savings, no investments, no freedom. Just a really nice prison. Let me take you back to 2008 for a reality check. The entire financial system collapsed because millions of Americans did exactly this. Bought houses they couldn't actually afford based on what banks approved them for. Banks don't care if you can afford it. They care if they can sell your loan to someone else before it implodes. They approve people for mortgages that consumed 45%, 50%, or even 60% of their income. And when life happened, job loss, medical emergency, recession, those people lost everything. There's ancient wisdom that says, don't build a palace you can't maintain. But we don't listen. We see the Pinterest perfect kitchen, the master bedroom with the walk-in closet, the backyard our friends will be jealous of, and we ignore the math screaming at us to slow down. Here's the rule wealthy people actually use. Housing should cost no more than 25% of your take-home pay. Not 40%, not 50%, 25%. That means if you take home $5,000 a month after taxes, your total housing cost should be $1,250 max. Not $2,500, not whatever the bank approves, 1/4 of your income. That's it. But here's what happens when you follow that rule. You buy a house at 50 to 70% of what the bank approves. The bank says $400,000, you buy a $280,000 house instead. Suddenly your payment is $1,800 instead of $2,600. That's $800 a month you're not sending to the bank. That's $9,600 a year. Invest that for 10 years at a conservative 7% return, and you've got $132,000. Your friend who maxed out their budget? They've got a bigger house and zero investments. Here's your actionable step. Before you even talk to a real estate agent, calculate what you can comfortably afford, not what you're approved for. Take your monthly take-home pay, multiply by 0.25, and that's your absolute maximum housing payment, including everything. If that means buying a smaller house, buying in a different neighborhood, or waiting another year to save more, do it. Your future self will thank you. Let me tell you about a couple I know. The bank approved them for $500,000. Their friends were buying houses at that level, showing off on social media, hosting parties. This couple bought a $280,000 starter home instead. Everyone thought they were playing it too safe. You can afford more. 10 years later, they sold that starter home for a profit and bought their dream house with cash. No mortgage at all. Meanwhile, their friends who maxed out their budgets, still making payments, still stressed, still one job loss away from foreclosure. Here's a quick story that captures this. A man bought the biggest house he could afford. Beautiful, impressive. His neighbor bought a modest home well below his means. 20 years later, the man with the big house was still working, still stressed, still owned by the bank. His neighbor retired at 52, same income, different choices. Here's the wealth principle. Your house should shelter you, not imprison you. The goal isn't to impress the neighbors. The goal is freedom. All of the above will be meaningless if you miss the last detail. Number 7 is the trap. 67% of Americans are stuck in right now. And it's the reason people making $150,000 are just as broke as people making $50,000. Number 7, lifestyle inflation, keeping up with raises. Number 7, and this is the trap that keeps six-figure earners just as broke as minimum wage workers. Stop upgrading your lifestyle every time you get a raise. Here's the pattern I see everywhere. You're making $50,000 a year, living in a one-bedroom apartment, driving a used Honda, eating at home most nights. You're broke, but you tell yourself, once I make more money, everything will change. Then you get the promotion. Suddenly you're making $70,000. And you know what happens? You immediately upgrade everything. New apartment, $500 more per month. Nicer car, $350 more per month. Better restaurants, $200 more per month. Fancier clothes, premium gym membership, the expensive coffee shop instead of home brew. Within 3 months of your raise, you've spent every extra dollar and then some. You're making $20,000 more per year, and somehow you're more broke than before. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason 60% of Americans earning over $100,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Read that again. Six-figure earners living paycheck to paycheck. Not because they don't make enough money, but because they can't stop spending what they make. There's a law called Parkinson's Law that says, expenses rise to meet income. It's human nature. You make more, you spend more, you feel like you deserve the upgrade. You've been working hard, sacrificing, and now it's finally time to live a little. But here's the brutal truth. You're not living more. You're just spending more to feel the same level of broke at a higher income bracket. Let me take you to the Bible for a second. There's a proverb that says, "The sleep of a laborer is sweet, whether they eat little or much. But as for the rich, their abundance permits them no sleep." Translation? More money without wisdom just means more problems. The teacher making $45,000 who lives below their means sleeps better than the doctor making $300,000 who upgraded everything and can't afford to miss a paycheck. Here's what wealthy people do differently, and this is the secret that changed my life. When they get a raise, their lifestyle doesn't change at all. They got a $10,000 raise? That's $833 more per month after taxes. But they still live in the same apartment, still drive the same car, still pack the same lunches. That entire $833 goes straight to investments, every month. Automatically, without thinking about it. Let me show you the math that'll blow your mind. You get a $10,000 raise. Most people upgrade their lifestyle and save zero. You keep your lifestyle the same and invest $833 per month. In 10 years at a modest 8% return, that's $152,000. In 20 years, $489,000. In 30 years, over 1.2 million. From one raise you never spent. Meanwhile, your coworker who got the same raise and upgraded their apartment, after 30 years, they've got a nicer rental history and $0. Same income, completely different financial futures. Here's your actionable step, and I need you to hear this. Live on last year's income forever. Every raise you get from this point forward gets automated straight to investments before you even see it. You don't deserve the nicer car because you got promoted. You deserve financial freedom, and that only comes from widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Let me tell you a story that still gives me chills. There was a public school teacher who never made more than $60,000 in her entire career. Everyone felt sorry for her. Must be tough living on a teacher's salary. When she died at 88, they discovered she'd accumulated over $2.4 million. How? She lived on her starting salary of $35,000 her entire career. Every raise for 40 years went straight to index funds. Never touched it, never upgraded. Just quiet, consistent investing while everyone else was upgrading to bigger houses and fancier cars. Here's the final wealth principle that ties everything together. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth lives. It's not about making more money, it's about keeping more money. Every dollar you don't inflate your lifestyle with is a dollar working for your freedom. I know a doctor making $400,000 who's broke. I know a postal worker making $60,000 who's a millionaire. The difference? One kept inflating, one kept investing. And now you know which path leads where. So here's the question nobody's asking. So there you have it. 7 things bleeding your bank account dry in 2026. And here's the truth nobody wants to hear. These aren't just purchases. They're choices. Every financed car, every forgotten subscription, every daily lunch out is you choosing comfort today over freedom tomorrow. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one thing from this list. Just one. Cancel that unused streaming service today. Skip lunch out tomorrow and meal prep instead. Drive your current car one more year. Small changes compound into life-changing results. Drop a number 1 to 7 in the comments. Which one hit you hardest? If you're ready to stop the financial drain, comment "No more waste" right now. And smash that subscribe button if you want more content like this that actually helps you keep your money. Should I make a video showing you what to do with all the money you just saved? Let me know below. Remember, companies spend billions making you feel like you need this stuff. But real wealth isn't about what you own, it's about what you don't owe. Stop feeding the system that keeps you broke. Your future self is begging you to start today.